So, that was on the 3DS, so while we're on the 3DS...
talk about the 3DS itself, because that came out this year, 2011.
Okay. I know we talked about it before in the 3DS podcast, but it was a god-awful launch.
Mm-hmm. Terrible.
I mean, it's like rivaling the terrible launch of the PS3.
Well, the way I see it, it only had 2 games that came out with it. Street Fighter and Pilot Wings. And Pilot Wings should have come with it. I think it should have.
Mm-hmm. I would have been interested to play Pilot Wings, but I wasn't about to buy it, you know. The only game that at launch that I wanted to buy when the 3DS came out was Street Fighter. Right. And that's a bad launch because that's a third-party game. There were there was literally no first-party support for the 3DS when it came out. It was like, unless you like Nintendogs or Pilot Wings or God's Gift to Mankind, Steel Diver, you're out of luck. There's no Now I understand, you know, lately they've been kind of weird with the launches for the Nintendo consoles, and there hasn't always been a stellar Mario game available at launch. But there's always been something. There's been Luigi's Mansion or Twilight Princess where it's something that people are really going to want that's going to move units. And there was nothing like that when the 3DS first came out.
They thought they could rely on Nintendogs because the first one sold so well.
Well, yeah. Everybody who wanted to play Nintendogs played the first one, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's a case where with Nintendogs and especially with Pilot Wings, I don't want to say they rushed the games out, but if you compare Nintendogs 3DS or is it Nintendogs+Cats? Is that what it's called?
Nintendogs+Cats.
There's 3 cats in that game, and that just sounds like a bad rush job. Nintendogs should be a huge seller. When a Nintendogs game comes out, maybe hardcore gamers aren't going to care, but the general audience should be all right, now it's time to fucking buy a 3DS. But rushing out with virtually no cats and virtually no reason to play it over the regular DS Nintendogs really hurt the launch.
Yeah.
And with Pilot Wings, when I think of Pilot Wings, I think of Pilot Wings 64, which had loads of different characters and different modes and different maps and all kinds of crazy. You can fly around, find hidden shit and stuff. But from what I played, the actual Pilot Wings 3D is, just some little mini game exhibition.
It's your me in there.
It's Island Flyover from Wii Sports Resort. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's hidden stuff, and you could find little tourist attractions and stuff, and that's cool. I really enjoyed Island Flyover in Wii Sports Resort, but I mean, I want to play the same game again in 3D. I didn't enjoy it that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't own Pilot Wings. I haven't played it, so it might be super awesome, but I kind of doubt it. No offense, John.
Well, it's not. It's not a good launch title. Regardless.
It's like a demo. Yeah, it's not a good launch title. It's more like a demo.
It's a tech demo.
More like
that they released the full game.
Yeah. Have you played Pilot Wings 64?
Yeah. I love Pilot Wings 64. Shooting the Wario face on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Turn into Wario.
Mm-hmm.
That crazy-ass jetpack. Yeah.
Yes. And that stuff just doesn't really seem like it's in the 3D version.
Yeah.
So now if they go to release, if they say, okay, now we want to make an actual Pilot Wing game for the 3D, what are you going to do? You fuck. People are going to think, this is that bullshit Wii thing. We ain't going to play this. So yeah, terrible launch for the 3DS, but they brought it back. They had the ambassador system and
a lot of stellar titles. I think they're finally coming into their own. They got Super Mario 3D Land, Mario Kart 7, and they should have had Ocarina of Time at launch. Okay, because I understand development cycles and stuff, but they should have focused really hard on making that a launch title because that would have moved units.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody,
they should have just held the 3DS back.
Yeah,
I would have been okay with that.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Everybody and their grandma loves Ocarina of Time 3D. Well, not 3D, but the original game. Everybody in the universe that breathes air loves that game. So people would have bought it. Little kids who never played the original and want to see what the fuss is all about would have bought it. Or made their parents buy it or whatever. That would have moved units. That's the point. I think that should have been out at launch. But now, it's really coming to its own. There's a lot of really great games on the 3DS that we're going to talk about
Okay, well, do it now. Except for Zelda. Don't talk about Zelda.
Well, I wanted to talk about Ocarina of Time 3D real quick.
No.
I just wanted to say that it's my most played game on my 3DS in my
Mine
activity
too.
log right now. So,
Cool.
Followed by Pilot Wings on mine.
Zelda, 20 hours. Pilot Wings, 20 seconds.
I'm
Mario
waiting to
Kart 7
finish
as well.
Zelda before I start Mario Kart 7.
Oh, you're...
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know what? I kind of want to finish Zelda because it's the one that came with the special Zelda 3DS that my parents got me.
Sure.
ah,
I understand.
that DS is awesome.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes, it is, and I got it.
That's the
Everyone
one-
be jealous.
I have it,
I
Kyle. That's the one I have. I'm not jealous of you.
Everyone but Matt be jealous.
I'm not jealous.
I'm the best.
I'm not-
You guys be jealous.
I'm not jealous of you.
Well, let's... shall we talk about Super Mario 3D Land?
Yes.
All right.
Go ahead.
I really enjoy it. I think it's terrific. Best application of the 3D on the console by far. I mean, it's a game that's designed to be played in 3D. It's not a game that looks nice in 3D.
It's a
the way-
3D game.
Yeah, the way that the levels are designed and the way that the camera operates, this game has the best camera ever made. It's always, the 3D is always at its most potent. The camera's always where it needs to be. There's no cheap depths. There's no bad controls. For all intents and purposes, it's almost a perfect game. The only thing that bothers me about it is it didn't knock my socks off. You know, after both Mario Galaxy games and New Super Mario Bros. Wii, I guess my expectations were too high because I think 3D Land is a phenomenal game and everybody who owns a 3DS should play it. But I don't think it's anything revolutionary. I don't think it's better than either Galaxy or New Super Mario Bros. Wii. You know, it's a...
How do you...
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask, how do you reckon it ranks up against the other Mario Kart games?
Not Mario Kart, Mario.
I'm talking about 3D Land. Right.
Oh, sorry, I've completely zoned out of the fucking conversation.
That's all right.
Wow. So it's like 5 a.m. here.
Well, that's
Give
all
me a
right.
break.
Sorry. It's quite all right. We'll get to Mario Kart 7. I don't have much more to say about 3D
Okay.
Land, so we could get to it right now if you want.
Well, I want to talk about 3D Land. Jeez, thanks
Yeah,
for
me too.
considering everyone else's opinion about 3D Land.
All right, let's hear it, guys. Hit me with
Alright,
it.
let me go first, Josh, okay?
Okay.
Let me go first. I wanted to say that I personally thought, the difficulty in Mario, it didn't go up. It didn't, get hard until, way later towards the game. And I was kind of disappointed in that regard. But I do like the level design. At first I wasn't digging it, but then eventually I was like, you know what, I appreciate this.
Yeah.
It's nice, bite-sized levels. It's perfect for portability. Portable
Be
mushrooms.
bored.
Well, they were
And-
they were trying to make it like the older Mario games, like a
Right.
Yeah.
like a 3D Super Mario Brothers. Basically, is what they were trying to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty much exactly what it is.
Yeah. And it's great. I love it.
It is great. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah. It looks amazing in 3D. Like you said, Ricky, it was, made for 3D.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I really like the level design.
I think
And,
the level design's great, yeah.
And Tanuki, everything
the-
is Tanuki.
yeah. I was literally just getting to that, man. I also like the boomerang flower, which
Yeah.
is kind of strange. Why is it not a suit? Or, I don't know.
Because they
But,
thought it would look super
yeah.
cool to do that curvy flower design.
Mhm.
That's the only
I
reason.
just beat the game and unlocked Luigi, so I've been using the new flower, or the new super leaf,
Where you can
which lets you turn to stone. Yeah,
Why was that a hidden feature? What
I
is that?
don't know. It's a separate item, which is strange.
Very weird. I don't know what that's about. But
Yeah,
For
the 3D definitely enhances the gameplay. You can play it in 2D, sure, but it was meant to be played in 3D.
Right. I can't see myself playing with the 3D off like I do every other game on the 3DS.
Yeah,
I have that shit. I had that shit at max, son.
Yeah,
Me
I
too.
fluctuate. I'll turn mine on or off, just depending on where I am.
Well, some people like it can hurt your eyes to play with it for too long, but that never happens to me. So I just always play with it at max, baby.
Yeah.
So
I haven't played with it on for a while before I got 3D Land, and I got headaches for the next 2 days because I haven't used it in so long.
that sucks. I'm sorry, Josh.
Yeah, but not anymore.
Alright, we should move on to the next 3DS title,
Mario Kart 7.
Mario Kart 7.
All right.
Why is Honey Queen in it?
Why is Honey Queen in it?
There we go. We've said all we need to say.
No, we haven't.
Waluigi?
Besides
No,
that,
Waluigi's not
it's
in
got it's got all the probably the greatest tracks from previous Mario Kart games.
I would say by far.
The retro courses are the best selection so far in the Mario Kart series.
I would say by a wide margin.
Guys. Keep going.
They've got all my favorites from every previous Mario Kart game.
Even though they raped Koopa Cape.
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay.
No, it's not.
Piranha Plant Side is it's the new Koopa Cape.
It is the new Koopa Cape, but that doesn't excuse them from fucking up Koopa Cake just so they can do their stupid gimmick.
Well, here's the thing about the gimmick with Mario Kart 7. Like, I said this on my review on the Adamant Ditto blog, pimp. But like the whole gliding and diving underwater thing, I think is so well implemented and so fresh feeling that it's like the first gimmick that I actually want to see in the next Mario Kart game. Like, I love Double Dash, and like I think the gimmick of Double Dash is really cool. But I didn't want it to come back in the next one. You know, I thought it was an interesting little experiment, and I really enjoyed it. And I was like, all right, you know, next Mario Kart game's going to go back to basics. And then like in Wii with the bikes, like I didn't want to see that come back. Yeah, but like with the gliding and diving, it's such a integrated way in the way the courses are designed and everything that
it just feels natural, right?
It does.
Yeah,
it really adds a lot to the.
I think so.
It does.
It adds.
And I think.
Never mind. Go on.
Go ahead.
No, go on.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I think depending on which courses they choose to bring back in the next Mario Kart game, they're gonna have to have gliding and diving back. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because a lot of the courses in this game are based around that.
Right. I really like the kart customization. I think it's really cool. I don't know if I like it more than I like just having a bunch of karts like Mario Kart DS. But I think it's a neat feature, and I love the diving and gliding, as you said. It really opens up the possibilities to what they can do with all these different tracks. It gives them a lot of options. Like they can do more with them now. They don't have to just stick to being on the ground all the time, and I think that's cool. I think that really adds a lot. What I don't like, however, is that there are 3 tracks where there is only 1 lap. That is a gimmick I could do without.
Yeah, that's a dumb. I think that should have been like woohoo loops, like gimmick. Like I think that should have been the only course that was 1 lap long, because if you're going to put woohoo loop in the game at all, you know, it was 1 lap in Wii Sports Resort, so that makes sense. You know,
right?
But first of all, why are there 2 woohoo tracks? That's just a little goofy. And Matt's going to point out that there's a 3rd battle track, because every time I say that there's 2, he's like, no, there's 3.
There is 3, because there's a battle one. Woohoo Town.
Well, it's silly. I don't know why there's 2, and I don't know why they're both 1 lap, and I especially have no clue why Rainbow Road is 1 lap.
Yeah, that bugs the shit out of me.
That's the stupidest thing, okay? Like, Rainbow Road is supposed to be this last grand finale of a track, and it's just 1 lap. Like, why? Why? That doesn't make any sense. No other Rainbow Road is like that. It's Rainbow Road. It can be long. The track could remain exactly the same, and if they just made it 3 laps, I would be okay. Like, it can be long. It's Rainbow Road. Have you ever played Mario Kart 64? That's like the longest, most boring Rainbow Road on Earth.
Yeah.
So, like, I would be okay if it was a 6-minute track, but no. Instead, it's a 4-minute track, 1 lap. No, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. Like, as a diehard Mario Kart fanboy, that's not okay. And, like, I know that's really nitpicky, but it bugs me, okay? I'm sorry. It bugs me. Just like fucking Honey Queen bugs me.
Well, that's one of the worst things. I think the two worst things about Mario Kart 7 are the character selection is ridiculous. I don't know what they were thinking. Who was clamoring for Honey Queen or Metal Mario? And there are some cool ones that they added. Like, it's great to see Rosalina back. It's amazing to actually finally be able to play as Lakitu in any video game ever. This is his first playable appearance. That's awesome. But, like, why are Waluigi... Why is Waluigi not in it, first of all? And then, like, I could see why, like, Diddy Kong or Bowser Jr. would not be in it. That's okay. But there's all these other characters that are in it over them. And that doesn't sit with me. You know, there were a billion characters in Mario Kart Wii. Not all of them deserve to be there. But at least all of the ones who did deserve to be there were there. You know? Well, I'm okay with Baby Daisy or, Wiggler, if they're not edging out Waluigi and Bowser Jr. Yeah. Or I know Bowser Jr. wasn't in DS, but you know what I'm saying. Like, that just bugs me. And the second worst thing about Mario Kart 7 is that there's it feels devoid of features. Like, the previous games have innovated so much with, like, especially Mario Kart DS had that mission mode that was really robust, and there were actually like boss fights and stuff. That was a great way to make the game a single-player experience outside of just the Grand Prix. And even the multiplayer experience on the DS was pretty robust. There was Shine Runners that everybody but me loved, and that's not in the game. Instead, we get Coin Runners from Wii, which is not as fun. So, like, you can't play, like, just a versus. You can't just, like, pick the track that you want to play and just race computers. You have to do a circuit.
Yeah, I don't like that because, like, on Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart DS, if I don't have anybody to play with, I'll just play, random all versus hard computers, 16 courses. Like, I'll just do random completely. And in this one, I could just go in and pick my own track that I want to play on. In this one, you have to do a circuit. Like, the example I gave Dawn back when I first got the game, for Christmas, I said, like, one of my favorite tracks is Shy Guy Bazaar. If I want to play Shy Guy Bazaar, I have to play Mushroom Cup. It's the last it's the last track in Mushroom Cup. I have to play the whole cup just to play that one track. That's kind of bad game design. Like, that's especially considering Wii and DS allowed you to do that. This is a step backwards. Like, they took a lot of steps forward with Mario Kart 7. Like, the communities online are great. They added some really cool new features, such as the gliding and all that stuff. They took a lot of steps forward, but they also took steps back. And, like, that's not good. It kept it from... It could have been the best Mario Kart, but instead it's just one of the best Mario Karts.
Yeah. There's a lot to like about it, and I think it's a really solid entry in the series. It's way better than Mario Kart Wii. I actually really like picking up coins. Like,
yeah, that's one of my favorite new old
features.
But
I do sort of wish you had the option to turn them off, because if you're like a curmudgeon who doesn't want them, I think that option should be there. But I think it's actually really cool. I like how it encourages you to drive on sections of the track you might not have otherwise, and it sort of plays to this idea that, like, decisions and choices you make in the short run affect your top speed and can thus affect the long run. So it makes every lap of one race feel very fresh, which I think is A+ on that. I actually really like the coins. But overall, I think Mario Kart 7 is a very good game. It's a very solid entry in the series. I think it's going to move units. I think it's going to put butts in the seats and get people to buy the 3DS, which is, I think it deserves to. It's not the best game on the 3DS, but I think it's a fitting one for people to want to buy the console to play. I don't think there's any problem with that. I think it deserves to be played by a lot of people. So, make of that what you will.
Yep.
Here's hoping they come out with DLC.
No.
Yeah.
Don't count on it, though.
Yeah.
I don't think any game prior to the first game with DLC will have DLC.
I can hope.
I know, I could hope too.
I want more levels in Super Mario 3D Land. Like, seriously? That would be badass. Like,
that would be neato.
Super Mario 3D Land, the last levels.
What about if we're keeping? Go on, Kyle. Never mind.
I was just asking what's next.
Oh, I was gonna say if we're keeping. This isn't a game I have, but if we're keeping with the 3DS, Star Fox, go.
It's Star Fox 64 with no Einstein quote. It's genius instead. There.
That's right. The biggest thing they changed.
You don't want to, what kind of crazy stuff you get into if, Einstein exists in the world of
Star Fox.
I don't make no goddamn sense.
I told my dad that they changed that line, and he's like, Einstein's family probably complained. But, you know what? Star Fox 64 was a magnificent game on the N64. It's a magnificent game now. There's no two ways about it. I think Star Fox 64 is one of the best looking games on the 3DS. Some of the effects of like the rain and the water level on Zonus and the lava on Solar are phenomenal. They look gorgeous, especially in 3D.
Yeah.
But it's the same game.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I want to really touch on Star Fox is that for how much they advertise the multiplayer, it's really shitty. There's only like 5 courses. You can't unlock Landmaster or on foot like you could in the original. And like there's some cool. They tried some cool things with it. There's like Mario Kart style items that you can pick up that do different things. So it's almost like a Mario Kart. Be able to get behind that, but it's so shallow. There's just no meat to the battle mode at all. And I feel like, especially with the shitty commercials they put out to get people to play the multiplayer, I wish they would have spent a little more time on it. But, whatever. Like I said, it's Star Fox 64. It's phenomenal.
They were really hurting to push out a game, and I guess they just, didn't want to do it. Yeah. Honestly, my deal breaker was it not having online. I know,
That's pretty silly, too, yeah.
I know
Yeah,
it's
why
kind of... It just didn't make sense to me. Star Fox Command had online. You could play over Wi-Fi, and everyone had to use an R-Wing, I think, but still...
The option was...
At least you could play with other people online,
Mm-hmm.
So why didn't they put that in? Didn't make sense to me.
Yep.
Yes.
Pretty silly.
Mm-hmm. So what else was there for the 3DS this year?
If we want
Pokemon
to...
Rumble Blast.
Oh boy.
Just something cool.
You're the only one that's
Okay,
played it,
next.
Josh. You want to
3D?
on that?
Is that really worth talking about?
Not really.
What are we talking about?
Rumble Blast.
Pokemon Rumble.
Alright. Pushmo, let's go.
All right. Game of the year?
Game of the year? Okay.
Yeah.
Go team. Got yay.
Am I just gonna... Nobody else is gonna talk about it?
You like
Yeah,
you
I
like
don't
it
have
the
it.
you
Yeah.
like it the most.
Yeah,
so go for it.
All right. I have Pushmo is the most played game on my 3DS in my activity log. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's the best game on the 3DS. I think it's easily worth $7. I think everybody who owns a 3DS should play it. It's so deceptively simple, and it's so deviously addictive. I feel like this is the exact sort of thing that Nintendo and with the eShop and stuff should focus on if they want to compete. Everybody's worried about the iOS, people buying $5 games, that are just simple, like Angry Birds and Plants vs. Zombies that they can play in the doctor's office or on the bus or whatever. And Pushmo is exactly one of those games, and there's a surprising amount of meat to it, I think, for $7. I would have paid $40 for this game, although if it was a $40 game, I would have been less forgiving of some of the, there's no functionality for Street Pass or Spot Pass. I think that's sort of unfortunate, and there's not. I wish there were more colors and more slots for me to store my custom Pushmos and stuff. But for $7, I can easily forgive that. You know what I mean? I would be less forgiving if it were $40, but I think it's an absolute masterpiece of a game, and I really like puzzle games, and this is a really, really fun, addictive one. And that's pretty much all I've got to say about Pushmo. I've sunk so much time into it already. That should be a testament to how good it is.
The best part about Pushmo for me is creating levels, man. That's just so much fun. Like, especially since you don't know how to do them.
Yeah.
Like, you pretty much just you go in blind. You design it, but you don't know how to play it. And then if you can't play it, you have to make it better. But you don't have to just or like mess up the sprite work because you could just add ladders and stuff. Like Pushmo, it's a really good game, and I hope a lot of people buy it. I want it to do well, and you can tell it's a good puzzle game because it makes me feel dumb. Okay, it's doing its job right if it makes you feel like an idiot sometimes, especially once you get a puzzle right and you're just like, oh, I'm a fucking moron. Like, I should have known that from the beginning. And like, Pushmo, it's the killer app for the eShop. It really is. It's game
Are there
game of the eShop.
Are there any other eShop games worth mentioning?
I haven't played any.
Maybe.
Mighty Switch Force.
Yeah.
But
I don't have it.
I haven't gotten that.
Yeah,
I don't know if it came out this year, but the new Shantae game is pretty fun.
Yeah.
That's for DS that way.
Yeah, well, I downloaded it on the 3DS.
I think that came out last year.
It came out last
Oh,
year.
so the eShop is the same for 3DS as it is for the DSi?
Yeah.
Yes.
But you can't... But Pull Blocks is strictly...
Yeah, it's not the same, but you can download pretty much everything that's on the DSiWare, shop system.
Except
Okay.
Pushmo.
Okay. Alright, cool.
Oh, and you can't download Flipnote Studio on 3DS.
Oh.
Well,
So they have some things
There's
different
swap
instead.
note instead.
Swap Note? Is that...
Swap Note is like
that's
really cool.
It's called
really nice
Letterbox
distraction.
in
I like using it.
Europe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Letterbox.
I don't know who it is. Letterbox. You've been sending any cool letters?
No, I get a lot from randoms that I added from Tumblr.
Cool. I guess that's all you can really say about that.
Yeah, you get to draw stuff in 3D. Yay. Who cares?
In 3D?
Yeah, you could switch the planes and have it so part of it's popping out and the other's on the regular screen.
It's this
That's
game.
pretty cool.
It's this game's it's the 3DS's PictoChat.
Yeah. I think it's neat.
It is.
But,
it is neat.
if
But
it
are you really
was-
going to put that much time into it?
If it was Flipnote Studio, I might.
But it's not Flipnote Studio. It's
Yeah.
it's SwapNote.
Right.
Alright. Is that the 3DS well covered, save for
think-
Zelda?
I think so.
I wanted
Well,
to
unless you guys
real
wanna-
quick.
Okay.
I wanted to say that I'm not sure if you mentioned this, but it has like infinite replayability. Because you can like make your own puzzles, but at the same time, like other people download their puzzles by just like scanning a little QR code.
Yeah.
And it's so simple and easy.
Yeah.
Just to like have more playtime in this game.
It is. Like, scanning stages is so easy. The QR code thing, I think, is brilliant. And the fact that you can only generate a QR code if your puzzle is solvable is also brilliant. That means you can just, on any message board or whatever, you can blindly download puzzles with the knowledge that you'll be able to solve it somehow.
Yes.
If you're
And
just
it's
not,
a lot
Well, yeah,
it's a lot more convenient. Do you want to talk?
Go ahead.
Say it's the QR coded system is a lot more convenient than in something like Picross DS, where you had to exchange friend codes and then sign in and go through a couple menus if you wanted to download friends' puzzles.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That, and you could download puzzles that weren't like legitimately solvable.
Yeah.
Which was kind of lame. Well, you could like do them, but you had to like guess.
Well,
Just work it out.
well, they prevent trolling in this one by you have to be able to beat it to get a code. So.
Nice. And you can just click it off the internet. Like, no worries, no messing about with friend codes or Wi-Fi, just flip.
Yeah, just point your 3DS at your computer screen and you've got a new puzzle to play. It's ingenious and brilliantly executed. Game of the year.
Game of the year
for me.
for you. Alright.
Yeah, if
Anybody
Nintendo wants
else?
to do some DLC for that, they could just like have a bunch of
They've
QR
QR
codes.
They've
Bam.
been
Yeah.
they've been doing that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They released several for like the holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, unless you guys want to talk about Pokedex 3D, I think we've got the 3DS covered. Or the eShop stuff. At least.
I think that's about
No
it.
one wants to talk about. Actually, no, fuck that. Later.
It's cool. We've covered it.
Oh, I was gonna say Forza Swords Anniversary Edition, but
Yes,
that's Zelda related.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Saving that for the end.
Yeah, all Zelda at the end.